Shabbat Shalom, Mishpaka. Shabbat Shalom. Hey, it's Sha'al Dre, your brother Dre. Sha'al, your brother Sha'al. Coming to you live from home in the Bama. Home in the Bama. I just want to say Shabbat Shalom. I want to say that Barak Yahuwah, Abba is good. I pray that everyone is having a great Shabbat. I pray everyone had a great week. All right, I want to go ahead and jump right into this video. I want to start off with a big, huge, much love to all the Mishpaka. All right, this right here, this is something that I've been thinking about this for a while, but it's kind of culminated up to last night and this morning. So this morning I wanted to go ahead and go in, and it's not going to be very long. I just want to show you something, and it's something that I can speak live better than I can type. All right. Let me just go ahead and say this, and then we're going to get right into it. I'm not coming on this video to condemn or to anything like that. Yahuwah has really been dealing with me about me. Really been dealing with me about how I come across, about the words that I speak, about just a lot of stuff. So he's really going in hard on me, dealing with me, and I appreciate him for it. So I'm just really I got a whole different mindset right now. All right, I'm not here to try to bash or condemn anybody. I'm not here to talk down on anybody, to be condescending to anybody. I'm not here for none of that. I'm here because there's something that Yahuwah really put in my heart that I really believe is an issue within the nation. The wicked, come on, we understand that the wicked, just in the scheme of just being wicked, the wicked have issues. That's just in the scheme of just being wicked. That just comes with wickedness. But I'm talking about the nation. I'm talking about the called out nation. We have some things that we really need to deal with. And I come in a very compassionate, loving rule. Because this is not to bash or belittle anybody. This is just for our growth and for our maturity, and for us to be able to create an atmosphere where the full potential that Abba has for us can be unleashed. Hallelujah. All right, so let me say this. I want to say this. I want to start off by saying this, that I truly believe. I was going to post this yesterday, but I didn't. I'll go ahead and say it since I'm live. I truly believe that the end of the internet, for Yasharal in particular, the end of the internet is going to be the beginning of faith. Let me say that one more time. I truly believe that the end of the internet is going to be the beginning of faith. I don't know, and I'm not positive, but I truly believe in me that there's going to become a time where either the internet is going to be cut off, or internet access for certain people is going to be cut off. And then we're going to be taken to a place where we don't have the ability to flood ourselves with all the information that we flood ourselves with, to communicate on the level that we communicate. I believe there's a time coming, either for the masses, all across the board, or at least for particular people. More in particular, called out people, where the internet, online, all these type of things, not just buying and selling and all that stuff, but I think a lot of the things that we see as normal right now, I think there's coming a time where access is going to be denied or limited. All right, and I truly believe that the end of the internet is going to be the beginning of faith, because many of us in our walks were really hindered by the smorgasbord of things that we just continually take in. All right, with that said, let me go ahead and say this, and then we're going to get to some things that I want to show you so you can see for yourself and look at it for yourself. I believe that we make the Watchman work too hard, and that's because we are full of so much of this world. I'm going to show you a few examples to show you what I mean. Oftentimes, I'm seeing that we are spending so much time focusing on the wickedness that's all around us. And I'm one who believes wholeheartedly that we're supposed to expose the works of darkness. I believe wholeheartedly that we're supposed to warn. That's what watchmen are supposed to do. I believe wholeheartedly that we're supposed to, as Abba gives us light and he shows us things, that we're supposed to love the people by showing them as he commands us to. I believe that. But I also believe that oftentimes we move from loving warning, righteous perception, righteous discernment, righteous understanding of things going on and the things around us. Oftentimes we move from that into obsession with wickedness. We become obsessed with wickedness. We have more wickedness on our mind than we have our own prayer life, than we have our own relationship with Yahuwah, than we have our own really truly study of his ways, not just what the wicked are doing, but what does he want from me? What is his desire for my life? And the reason I say it is because oftentimes I know we have watchmen out here that have been warning for years and years and years. And oftentimes we're warning our own people. I'm not talking about our own people that are lost. I'm talking about people that are in the covenant. And here's my point. My point is that when if we're truly returning to the ancient path, or we're coming out of Babylon, there should come a point in our life where we don't have to continually be bombarded by warnings that are directly tied to being part of this world. We should be coming out of this world. And as a nation, if we're coming out of the world, then the watchman's job shouldn't be that hard. The watchman should not have to be continually alerting us to things because of the watchman seeing our participation in certain things. As we grow in Yahuwah and we're really returning to the ancient path, we should be dropping off from this world. I'm not saying that it all comes at one time, but we should be dropping off from our connection to this world. So oftentimes the things that we're talking about and things that we're continually having to be rehearsed to us are things that if we're really getting in these scriptures and we're really getting into the heart of Yahuwah to see how he wants us to live, these are things that oftentimes, these are things that we really shouldn't have to be told. These are things that we really shouldn't have to be, it shouldn't have to be harped on and drilled so much. Okay? Like I said, this is not a condemnation or me trying to be condescending or anything, because we all have to grow. I've had to grow to the point that I'm at now, and I have a whole lot more growing I have to do, just like everybody else. All right, but this is an encouragement, and for us to continually strive, and in particular to come out of Babylon. All right, so now with that said, I'm going to direct you to the screens. I want to show you 3 examples of what I'm talking about. I want to show you 3 good examples of what I'm talking about. The whole theme of this video is that the more that we are called out for Yahuwah, the less wickedness, the less concerning this wicked world we truly, really need to know. I want to direct you to the screen, and I want to just reference our ancestors, our righteous ancestors. I want to reference them. All right. We go to Hanuk. We see Hanuk warning the wicked. We see Abraham. We see Masha. We see the prophets warning the wicked. We see these things, but we do not see them with an obsession with wickedness. We see their main drive as being the righteousness of Yahuwah. And how am I supposed to walk before him? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? We see Abraham. I'm sorry, I had a little connection thing. But we see Abraham over and over instructing his sons, instructing his family. We see Abraham when Sodom burnt up. Abraham wasn't worried about Sodom. In the scriptures, it tells us that Abraham, from his house, saw Sodom going up in smoke. Yahuwah had already came. Yahusha had already talked to him. Yahusha and the angels came by and stopped and talked to him. Yahusha stayed. The angels he sent on forth to handle Sodom and Gomorrah. The only reason Abraham even opened his mouth about Sodom was because of Lot. He pleaded for righteous people. Listen, I want you to pay close attention to this. He did not ask for Sodom and Gomorrah to be saved. He didn't even ask for them to be spared. He only said, Yahuwah, if there are righteous people in there, would you spare for their sake? For their sake. He wasn't trying to convert Sodom. He wasn't trying to petition for Sodom. He wasn't worried about that wicked place. The only reason he even brought it up is because his righteous nephew Lot was there. And he made a plea to Yahuwah that if any righteous be found, would you spare it for their sake? Abraham wasn't even worried about Sodom and Gomorrah. He was worried about making sure that his house was righteous, that he was doing what Yahuwah commanded him to do. It says that when Sodom went up in smoke, Abraham saw it from his house, and he kept on about his business. He wasn't crying for Sodom. All right. Again, one more time, and then I'm gonna direct you to the screen. The whole theme of this is that the more that we're called out for Yahuwah, the more that we're returning to his ancient path, the more that we're getting into his heart, following his ways, following his lead of his route, the less of the wickedness of this world that we really have to be concerned about. Let's go. I want to take you to a few examples, and I want to tie all this in to show you exactly what I mean. I got a few things that I want to talk about specifically. Starbucks, Nike, and natural flavors in processed foods. So I want to show you something. I know some of this might sound crazy. It's like, how is all this tying together? Where are you going with this? I'll show you right now. All right. Let me turn this camera around, and I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. Okay, now I want to say this. I'm going to do a lot of talking this through because I know how Facebook does with my videos sometimes. Oftentimes when I'm trying to show something on the TV or a screen, like my computer, it gets blurry. You can't see it. I go back and look at my videos later, and it's like, well, it looked great when the video was playing. How come it's doing this now? I honestly believe that it's Facebook messing around with folks. That's just what I think. I may be wrong. I don't know. But anyway, like I'm looking at it right now, and it looks very clear. Everything is fine. But then when I go back sometimes and look at the video, it's all blurry and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know why. I just wanted to say that up front. I'm going to try to do a lot of talking of these points so you can hear. Even if you go back later and the video is not clear, you'll be able to hear what I'm trying to show. Okay? So we're going to start right here. All right. We're going to start with Starbucks. Remember the whole point of this video. I'm trying to show you how that the more that we're called out for Yahuwah, and the more that we return to his ancient path, the less the watchmen really should have to speak. They should give us warnings, show us some things up front, but they shouldn't have to just go in, digging out every nook and cranny of the wickedness, spending all their time on wickedness. They shouldn't have to do that. We make the watchmen and the watchwomen work too hard. Why? Because of the things that we are involved in. Because we have so much worldly involvement, the watchmen have to speak too much. They have to continually drag us out of stuff because we're in so much stuff. All right. Now I want to go up front. I want to say up front that anyone that eats at Starbucks and anyone that wears Nikes, this is not an attack against you. I just want to show you. I'm using this to make an example of how really, for how Yahuwah showed me how easy this is. Okay, so watch this. All right, so we all know Starbucks, and this is their famous logo. Now, this is not what the logo looks like right now, but this is the original logo. And if we look at the logo today, we can see that it's very similar. And this is not something that I'm showing you that's hearsay. This is from Starbucks. This is they admit this. This is from Starbucks. Okay. So this is something you could go on their site. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you a video from their representative from the company that shows that this is not from some conspiracy theory trying to badmouth people, trying to make everything wicked. No, this is from their own site. All right. So the first time, and I want to go ahead and I want to give a shout out to my Yashai because it's been probably a couple of years now, maybe longer than that. that he went in and exposed Nike, Starbucks, things like that, and he was sharing with all the nation because Watchman Sha'al is one that goes in deep trying to help us to come out of idolatry. That's what he does. That's a mission that Yahuwah has him on. And this is something that when he was speaking on this, and I looked at it, and I was like, wow. So from that point on, I haven't gone back to Starbucks. I take that back. From that point on, I made the conclusion that I did not want to do any more business with Starbucks because they were, look, let me put it like this. There are a lot of companies out here that are involved in wickedness, but there are some companies that are outright in your face with their wickedness. And to me, when you're willing to do that, that tells me that I need to be bold enough to just say, okay, I'm not going to shop with you. If you're willing to put this out here in my face, even on your cups and your products, you're proud of it. So for me, those type companies, I don't deal with. And I'm not going to say I never went back in there after that because it's been a few years ago. I may have, but I know I can't remember the last time I've been in a Starbucks to actually shop and actually bought something because of this understanding right here. Matter of fact, a little while ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was at a truck stop and the Starbucks was in the truck stop and there wasn't hardly anything in there good. So I went into the Starbucks and I looked around and I said, well, maybe I'll just grab a little something because I'm hungry. I really don't have too many other options. And I Barak Yahuwah that the Ru rose up in me. And it was like, no, don't buy anything from this place. I turned around and walked back out. So anyway, like I said, not here to condemn anybody. I just want to show you what I'm talking about. So this is Starbucks. Now watch this. Who is the Starbucks siren? It's only a 3-minute read, y'all. So go with me. All right. She's at the center of your matter of fact, before I read this, let me go ahead and do what I told you I was going to do. This is from Starbucks itself. Okay. Let's look at this. I don't even know if it's going to play on this because let me see if I get sound or not. Okay, I'm not getting sound on that. I have to play it on my other hold on a second. Just hold on a second. This won't take me long. I can get you sound real quick. Let me just go to, yeah, this won't take but a second. Let me just go to my Gmail on my laptop and I think I can get you sound from here. All right, hold on. It's pulling up, y'all. And while this does that, I just want to show you. I want to try to be clear about what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is, and you know what? Why is this acting like this? All right, forget it. I'm not going to let this, because for whatever reason, all right, I'm gonna try this one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'm just gonna leave it alone. Because for whatever reason, it's trying not to. All right, let's try this. See what happens. Okay, while this is trying to load, I'm gonna go ahead and read this, and then we'll go back and look at the video. All right. Remember, this is Starbucks itself. All right, she's at the center of your Starbucks cup. That green mythological, I said it right the first time, creature, who's staring into your soul. Do you see this? Staring into your soul. I want to just highlight here. This is from Starbucks.com. This is their site. All right. The green mythological creature that's staring into your soul as you drink your latte. You see that? The star of Starbucks anniversary blend, but seriously, who is she? It's the siren. She is not a real person, but listen to this, but we kind of think of her as one. She's the biggest symbol of our brand, really, other than our partners' employees. She's the face of it, Steve Murray said. He's a creative director in the Starbucks Global Creative Studio. This is Starbucks. These are Starbucks representatives here, not conspiracy theorists trying to throw stones at companies. This is from the horse's mouth. Okay? All right, hold on. I'm still trying to see if I can get this video to where it will. And I think I'm getting closer. Yes, I am. Gmail. We're going to open that Gmail up. And while we're doing that, I'm just going to keep on reading. And then we'll go back to the video. All right. The siren is like a super mermaid. A mermaid with one tail is just a plain old mermaid. But a siren is often depicted with two tails. She might seem like an unusual choice for the face of a coffee company, but there's a pretty interesting backstory as to how and why the siren came to be. Watch this. It was 1971. That's 2 years before I was born. And the founders had landed on the name Starbucks inspired by Moby Dick. Next up, creating a logo. While scouring some old marine books, something stood out. A siren in an ancient Norse woodcut, the mysterious nautical figure called to them as sirens do. They really loved the look of it, and it kind of tied into what they felt Starbucks stood for, Steve said. So we took inspiration from that and created the logo from there, and she became the siren. In case you're wondering, there are two big connections between Starbucks and the seafaring world. One, our hometown of Seattle is in a port city. We're right on Puget Sound, and we feel this very strong connection to the water. This is all related to the mythology and the siren, because they're like goddesses of water. This idolatry. Coffee often travels long distances across the water to get to us. Coffee company, siren, queen of heaven. Even today, it arrives at the port in big container ships. Now watch this. This is playing right now. It's the video. It's a different video, but it's showing the history of this symbol. That's 1971. That's where it started. That's the second update in 87. That's the next update in 92. This is the latest, 2011. You see what it looked like at first? She was pretty much naked with her breast shown, even nipples. I'm gonna show you when it gets back to it. There it is right there. That's the first one. Okay. Over time, we've given our siren a few makeovers, as Steve says. We got to see a lot of her in the beginning. The first update came in 87, the year we added handcrafted espresso drinks to the menu. That's when the logo switched from brown to green. We also gave her a more modern feel in 92. We became a publicly traded company. Okay. So anyway, they're just explaining. They're explaining this, and as you can see, they say that he's saying things like, she's not real, but she's real to us. They're saying things like the green mythological creature who's staring into your soul as you drink your latte. This stuff is not a game, y'all. I mean, this is truly not a game. Okay. Anyway, hold on a minute. I'm going to pull up the video so you can see the video. I got to pull it up on my other computer because that's where my sound card is connected to. So here we go. It's about to pull up right now. I don't know why this is doing that, but anyway. All right, let's go down to right here. Let's play this video.
It is the siren. She is not a real person, but we kind of think of her as one. She's the biggest symbol of our brand, really, other than our partners. She's the face of it. A siren technically is a twin-tailed mermaid. So a single-tailed mermaid is just a mermaid.
Hold on, I want to try to see if I can turn it up.
Back in 1971, after they had named the company Starbucks, they were looking for some kind of an icon or a logo that really represented what we wanted the company to be. And they were poring over some old seafaring text, and they found this picture of a woodcut of a siren. It's from the sea, and coffee comes across the ocean, and Seattle's kind of a seafaring town, so you know, it seemed to really fit together well. It had a little bit of a mythical feel to it too. And so we took inspiration from that and created, you know, the logo from there, and she became the siren.
Okay, I'm not sure how well y'all could hear that, but anyway, you saw everything that he said in that video. You saw when I read this. Video is just a compilation of all this that they wrote down. All right. So anyway, you can see here that, and this is not just I'm not picking on Starbucks. I'm just, you know, using it because it's a quick example. That this is the reason why I don't go to Starbucks, because these type things right here. These are things that they're putting in our face, and this is idolatry. This is wickedness. You know what I'm saying? Now, they even alluded to how the coffee travels across the sea, which relates to the sea sirens, because these are sea creatures or sea mythological characters, goddesses, and all these things that they want to say, whatever they want to call them. I don't care. But that's the point. It relates to their brand. So, and as you can see by the own words of the company, this image is pretty much worshipped. And when I say worship, I'm not saying that they bow down to it. They might. I don't know. I'm not going to say they do because I don't know that. But you can see how much emphasis that they say is put. This is the key to, this is like the prime focal point of their company, this logo. They even said it in here in the words. They said, other than their employees, it's the siren. She's not a real person, but we kind of think of her as one. She's the biggest symbol of our brand, really, other than our partners' employees. She's the face of it, Steve Murray said. He's a creative director in the Starbucks Global Creative Studio. This thing is big to them. All right, so now let me show you the point that I'm making. Let me show you, I want to show you the point that I'm making. I'm going to show you something real quick, but before I go there, I wanted to start here because I want to show you how. Let me turn my camera around just real quick. I showed you this for a reason, y'all. I want to show you how that the way Yahuwah works is that Yahuwah is very protective of people who follow him. Yahuwah is very protective of the righteous. He's very protective of his own. He's very protective. Oftentimes, we don't understand the depth of his protection because we're involved in so much worldliness. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you this. Oftentimes, we don't understand the depth of his protection because we dismiss so many of his instructions and we dismiss his warnings. So therefore, we miss his protection because we dismiss his warnings. Let me give you a prime example of right here. So when Ak Yeshai showed me this, when he first showed me this is like I said, this has been years ago. I'm not doing this video based on what he showed me. I'm doing this video based on the prompting of the Ruh that Yahuwah just gave me between last night and this morning. But I'm trying to show you that the foundation of this is in a simple warning that he gave several years ago, because Yeshai had been gone in on this, and Nike, and Illuminati, and a bunch of other stuff that a lot of people want to dismiss and call him a nutcase and all this stuff. And it's not just Sha'al. We got many other watchmen and watchwomen out here that are trying to warn our people. But I'm trying to tell you guys, oftentimes we make the watchmen and watchwomen work too hard. I'm trying to show you right now a prime example of that. Okay, here's where I'm trying to go. Because of this simple warning and being able to see this for myself and see that, okay, this company is admitting this. This company has put this in the face of people. This company has put this idolatry and this wickedness in the face of the population as a symbol for its own brand. So now I am going to say, as a covenant keeper, that because they put it out there like this, there are so many other companies that have wickedness in their ideologies and business practices or whatever, but they may not put it in your face. So that's one thing. because I'm not going through trying to dig out every company and what they're involved in. I don't got time for all that. I'm just being honest with you. I don't even believe Yahuwah actually requires us to do all that. We're in wicked lands. Daniel was Daniel was in charge of sorcerers in Babylon. So there's a way that we're supposed to operate in these lands. There's a way that we're supposed to operate. He wasn't involved in any sorcery, but he was over the magicians. He was over them. I mean, you have to, yeah. You have to understand that when you're a righteous man, Yahuwah protects. When you're a righteous woman, Yahuwah protects. Yahuwah will protect you in the midst of devils when you're sold out to him. Just Sha'al, I'm going to go back and read some of your comments. As a matter of fact, let me read right now, because I want to engage you in some of these comments. Y'all excuse me, I don't want to throw my glasses back on. I'm going to get close to the camera. Oh, Barak Yahuwah, you're working on exposing the demon of flight shoes soon. Wow, Barak Yahuwah. Okay, Barak Yahuwah. So I'm just trying to show you guys how Yahuwah is protection. So this is what I mean. Yahuwah led me to stay away from Starbucks simply because of understanding and seeing their admission to their symbol. From that point, he told me to stay away from Starbucks. Now, here's my point. My point is, that's all I needed. I don't need the Watchman to have to go in constantly unveiling every little thing about Starbucks. You know why? Because I'm no longer a participant. So it doesn't affect me. I hope that I'm speaking clearly. Abba Yahuwah, give me every word. Please make sure that I say it in a way where the people can understand and receive it and not be confused, but understand. So help me, Father. And forgive me for not even praying at the jump before we even started. Even though you know in my heart I was prayerful, but for not praying openly even before we started, forgive me. So I pray that you guys can understand what I'm saying. I'm trying to make a point here. Oftentimes we need to hear too much about wickedness because of what we're involved in. When we step away and we come out of certain things, we don't really have to know all the ins and outs. You know why? Because we're not participating. It's like what the scriptures say, where the law is for the lawless. Oftentimes, all this exposing that has to be done is because you're involved in it. So the watchmen have to work overtime to get you out of stuff that we should not even be participating in the first place. Let me give you an example before I move on with this one. I got a friend from high school. He's strung out now. All right. Let me tell you what happened to him. I remember seeing my friend he was a star basketball player. We used to call him Baby Jordan because that's how good he was. And he kind of looked like Michael Jordan, honestly. He had the bald head. He was dark skinned, like me. And he looked like Mike a little bit. Well, for real. When we were young, he did favor Mike. He really did. And he played like Mike. He played like him. Little school here in Alabama. But I guarantee you, had he have not got messed up, I really believe that he would have been the next instead of Kobe. Because after Jordan, we know that really the next biggest player that was compared to him was Kobe and then LeBron. I believe he would have been that next one. You know what I'm saying? I really do. He was that good. All right. So anyway, I him for a long time, and then one day I saw him on the street, and I spoke to him. We talked just briefly because I think I was in the car riding by, and he was on the street crossing the street, and we just kind of looked at each other and recognized each other. He was like, "What up, Dre?" And like I said, "Bro, what's up?" And we just chatted for a minute because I couldn't stop long because I had to move on in the car. But anyway, I saw him, but just something didn't seem right. Something didn't sit right, I won't go into everything that happened, but I'll just say something didn't sit right. So anyway, a little while later, maybe a few months or whatever, I saw another friend from high school. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, I saw so-and-so the other day." And I talked to him. I said, "But something just didn't seem right." I said, "What happened? What's going on with him?" Hold on a minute. Let me make sure my battery's good because it looks like my screen got dim. Yeah, my battery's good. So maybe it's just the lighting. All right. So anyway, I asked him, "So what's going on with him?" This is what he told me. He said, "Dre," He said, man, somebody messed Danny. I'm sorry, I didn't even mean to say his name. Somebody messed him up. Said he went to a party, and he said what's been said that's happened, and this is what I know that have happened, is that he went to a party and somebody put something in his drink, and he hadn't been the same since. He said his mind, man, there's just something off, and somebody put something in one of his drinks, and they said he hadn't been the same since. All right. So anyway, it hurt me to my heart to see that, and to see how he was and how he became. And I pray for him, you know what I'm saying? I pray for him right now. You know, help him, Father. But my whole point in saying this is this, that these type things that go on in these type environments, guess what? We wouldn't need to be warned about those things if we didn't hang out in those environments. That's my point. My point is, oftentimes we're making the watchman work too hard because we're putting ourselves in situations and we're putting ourselves in environments and atmospheres that really, if we stay away from those environments and atmospheres, we wouldn't need any warning about the wickedness that can come from it, because we wouldn't be involved. I pray that you're understanding this point. So that's what I mean when I go here. Let's go back to this Starbucks, because we're about to go to the next step, and I want to show you how this is going to tie in. You're going to see it clearly. All right, so I don't shop at Starbucks anymore because of the one simple warning that I got from the Yahuwah that he brought through Ak Yeshai, and I took heed to it. And because of the conviction of the Ruh in me to not want to support any business that openly does this, I decided to stop shopping at Starbucks. Now watch this. Let me show you how Yahuwah protects you. Let me show you how you don't even have to know and get all the information and all the details about every little thing folk are doing in their wicked minds and their wicked hearts and their wicked actions. You don't even have to know all that. If you just obey Yahuwah in the simple instruction that he gives you, you can leave it alone after that, because you'll never have to worry about it because you're not involved. Let's go to the next point. I want to show you exactly what I mean by that. Watch this. Oh boy, if you don't understand it now, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it now. You're gonna see it now. Now that's not what I'm looking for. I want to look for the other one, because I want you to see the picture that goes with the video. I mean, with the article. All right. All right, we're just gonna go with this one. All right, look at this. Starbucks, no thank you. Starbucks is getting bashed for using ground up Beetos to color its Frappuccinos. All right, I want to show you something here. I'm making a point here. Tada, Akudi Stephanie. That's right. Good stuff. I want to show you something right here, guys. I was looking for another picture that I had up here, but for whatever reason, it's not popping up. But it's fine. I'm just going to use this one. But I want to show you this. I'm trying to show you how there are certain things that you never even have to know, and that you are automatically protected from when you just obey Yahuwah. All right, now watch this. So, and this particular part here is not a bash on Starbucks. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna see that a lot of companies do this, which is why another reason why I know Yahuwah has us coming back, returning to the ancient path when it comes to how we eat. All right, watch this. Starbucks is getting bashed for using ground up Beetos to color its Frappuccinos. Now watch this. Starbucks is getting backlash from the vegan community after changing how it colors its strawberry Frappuccino. It's using ground up Cochino Beetos. Why? I'll show you right here. because the beetle gives that red coloring. Okay, so watch this. It's using ground up cochineal beetles. Gross, right? Perhaps, but the type of food coloring is government approved and widely used throughout the food industry. Widely used throughout the food industry. It's FDA approved. Watch, the vegans are mad. They say they're mad because it's presented as a drink that vegans can consume. All right, this is what Dalen Fortney of the vegan website This Dish is Veg has started a petition on change.org to protest Starbucks' use of the coloring. All right, so they use those beetles as a coloring to make it look like strawberry. All right, it's a strange dilemma for Starbucks. The brand is trying to get rid of artificial ingredients, but instead of receiving praise for it, it's getting slammed. But is Starbucks going about this the wrong way? Watch this. I thought this was funny, but very powerful and true. Michael Jacobson, executive director at the Center for Science in the Public Interest, gave US Today the logical solution. Strawberry frappuccinos should be colored with strawberries. That's funny, but it's just, I mean, I thought that was very powerful. You see how quick and easy he said that? He's like, okay, they're using beetles to get coloring for strawberry frappuccino. Why not just use strawberries to get the color? Strawberry frappuccinos should be colored with strawberries. See, but that makes too much sense. All right. Now, I want to show you my point. I showed that to go here also. Beetles are unclean scripturally. Okay? These are unclean animals. So, by me, in this instance, by me just obeying Yahuwah, by me just simply obeying Yahuwah, I don't even need all that other information about beetles being unclean, about them using bugs in their food, which they don't advertise, because I'm going to when I get to the next part, you're going to see how all this ties in. When I get to natural, what natural ingredients means. Okay, when they say natural flavors is what I meant. There's a whole lot of deception in the food industry. But my whole point is that I'm trying to show you how just a clear, simple following of Yahuwah's instruction to me concerning not doing business with this company because of this. Simple as this. It protects me from anything else they do because I don't participate with them. So now when I go and see something like this, guess what? Because of simply understanding their heart and understanding their willingness to put idolatry out there, to understand their willingness to do this, because of just that, it protects me from this. So now here's my point. And Kudi Zakaya, thank you for saying that, because I want to show you this. I want to show you guys this. Kudi just said Snapple does it too. This is my whole point, y'all. This is my whole point. We're getting to my point. When we're doing things, when we get back to how Yahuwah says for us to conduct our lives and to carry ourselves, you'll find that we will not be in these stores so much, and we'll be very, very picky about what we put into our bodies. So now these things like Snapple doing this and all these other brands that use swine and use this and use that and use this and use that, guess what? When we are eating from the land, when we are doing more of trying to grow our own foods, or when we do go to the store, at least buying produce and buying things that are fresh and buying things that we can recognize the ingredients. When we're doing that, all this other stuff that these wicked folks are doing won't matter to us because we're not involved in it. What I'm trying to show you is how that oftentimes the warning after warning after warning after warning after exposure that we constantly need, having to be bombarded on a regular basis. Bam, bam, bam. This is wicked. This is evil. This is wicked. This is wicked. They're doing this. They're putting this and that. They're putting this and this. This is this. This is this. Oftentimes the reason why we continually have to have that is because we keep making excuses for these wicked cultures and continuing to participate in what these wicked cultures have given us as normal. People eating from their land don't have to care about what Starbucks puts in their Frappuccino. People making, let me turn around my camera around because Abba's good. I'm not here to go off on the deep end. I'm not here to go off on the deep end with some conspiracy theories and all this crazy stuff. I'm not. And I do believe that most conspiracy theories are not theories. I believe most of them are true. But I'm not even here for that. I'm here showing you factual data that comes from the horse's mouth with Starbucks. They admitted to this. And because they admitted to this, and they admitted to what they had put in their face, to even go as far as to say something like that creature that's staring into your soul while you drink the latte, because she's on every cup. They have gone as far as to put this in the face of people, because wickedness is so rampant in the world now, and wickedness is so rampant in this culture that we won't even stand up and challenge and throw that back in your face. You mean to tell me that you think I'm going to spend my money with you while you promoting this type of wickedness and idolatry in your own brand? Because they know that the average person don't care. So they're willing and bold to put that in your face and even explain it in a video proudly. But my point is that when we can take something as simple as their admission and then put that to work by dismissing them from our life, then everything else that they do don't matter. It won't affect us because we've come out. That's the point I'm making. We won't need to continually hear about every little thing that Starbucks does. You know why? Because we're not part of that. We've come out of that. The only thing that we would need it for is if we wanted to help other people that were still in it, which is what the job of the Watchman is. But we personally wouldn't need to continually hear that because we have come out of it. That's my point. Now, the second part was going to be Nike. But because of what my Akudi Zakaya brought up, I want to go into natural foods. I want to show you something. I want to show you something about natural, what they call natural flavors. Okay, watch this. Turn my camera back around. I just wanted to show you how this connects, y'all. Because of me running from this, I'm automatically protected from this. Because I don't fool with Starbucks. That's the whole point, y'all. That's right, Akudi Zakaya, natural flavors. We're going to talk about that right now. Natural flavors. All right. First thing I want to show you is this. All right, what are natural flavors? Get the facts. Watch this. Here's a great example right here. We see this yogurt, all right? And it has natural flavors as one of the ingredients. Okay? Watch this. Natural flavors are found in a lot of places. I think she meant places. In your can of lime sparkling water, your carton of berry yogurt, your glass of fruity tea. They're one of the most common ingredients found on food labels, yet one of the most confusing. Okay? What are natural flavors? Watch this. Natural flavors are derived from plants or animals. According to the International Food and Information Council, if a food's flavoring contains any of the following, it is considered natural. Watch this. Spice, fruit or fruit juice, vegetable or vegetable juice, edible yeast, herb, bark, bud, root, leaf or similar plant material, meat, fish, poultry, eggs, dairy products, fermentation products. But natural flavor in a product isn't necessarily just one ingredient. It may be a combination of different flavoring ingredients, even dozens. What does natural even mean? It's important to know that the FDA has a pretty fuzzy definition for natural. It simply means it doesn't include anything man-made. Though it has wholesome and appealing ring to it, natural on a food label or ingredient list doesn't mean it's healthy, organic, simple, or something your grandma had in her pantry. Why are natural flavors used? Watch this. Natural and artificial flavors can help make the food taste better, fresher, or like something the product doesn't actually contain, like natural fruit flavoring in candy. All right, so the product doesn't contain any fruit flavor, but you can put something natural in there, they say natural, to make it taste like it does. All right, no calories, no nutrients, they only provide flavoring. What's the difference between natural and artificial flavors? Natural flavors are derived from plants and animals. Artificial flavors are derived from man-made substances. But both can and are often formulated in a lab, and the molecules may be identical. All right, there's another example, something with natural flavors on it. What's wrong with natural flavors? There is some distrust of natural flavors, and here are two reasons why. First, natural flavors often have additional ingredients in them, like preservatives and stabilizers, to make the flavors work better in the food. But those additional ingredients don't have to come from natural sources. Second, watch this. The FDA doesn't require companies to disclose the specific ingredients included in natural flavoring. Do you see this? Now watch that statement right there. The FDA doesn't require companies to disclose it. So that means when you come up here to your ingredient on what you buy and you see natural flavoring, you don't know what's in it. There could be some things unnatural that were made to make the natural flavoring that they're calling natural. And the FDA does not require them to list everything that's in that natural flavoring. I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. Now watch this. Unfortunately, with the vague umbrella term of natural flavor, you're left with a lot of questions. Okay? So this goes into MSG. I'm not going to talk about that. I think most of y'all know what MSG is. There it is, monosodium glutamates and a lot of ingredients. All right, so here's my point right here. Let's go down to this right here. All right, what's the deal with beaver butt? Okay? There's a rumor swirling online that companies using oil from beavers' behinds as natural strawberry and vanilla flavoring, also raspberry. All right? A substance from a gland near a beaver's bottom called castoreum was used in tiny amounts in a small number of flavors that are likely not used today. Castoreum is primarily used in the perfume industry. All right, an observation here, but you can go back and see other studies that show that a lot of this stuff is used today. All right. Now, I wanted to do that. I wanted to show you that because I want to show you something here. I just want to show you guys some things here. All right, so just because something says natural doesn't mean that it's good for you. It doesn't mean that it's good for you. And I wanted to show you the deception of what the Food and the Drug Administration and these food companies do. But here's the whole point that I was trying to make you guys. The more that we come out of Babylon and the more that we return to the ancient path of our ancestors, the less of this stuff we have to worry about. If we are growing our own food, or if at least buying fresh food, eating fresh instead of everything that we have to eat has to come from something packaged and processed. If we're eating the way that really Yahuwah intended us to eat, a lot of this stuff that these wicked folk are doing, we really don't have to know all the ins and outs of it. They're messing with it. Oh boy. I'm not here to condemn. I'm here trying to make a point that I pray that you guys are getting. It's not a condemnation. It's just an encouragement that if we return to Yahuwah's ways, doing our best to return to how he wants us to live, he made it clear how he wants us to live, and he did that for our protection. He knows how wicked these folks are. He knows that they don't care about his laws. He knows that these folks are nasty. These folks are nasty. They'll put anything in a product to get you to spend your money, to make a killing off the food. The food administration, the food industry is huge. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry based on us not wanting to grow our own food. Based on them knowing that we've come into so much progress as people that we progressed our way out of growing our own food. We progressed our way out of being self-sustaining. We progressed our way out of knowing how to live. So they have to live for us. And these folks are wicked. They'll put anything in this stuff that we're eating and consuming on a regular basis. They'll put anything in it to preserve it on these shelves for months and years so they can make more money off of it. They'll do anything. They'll put anything in this stuff. When I'm not going to go into a lot of it, but when we see some of the stuff that they put in what this so-called food is, our eyes will come open to how these folks are devils. They are straight up devils. Greedy devils. Don't care a lick about humanity. Don't care a lick about Yahuwah. Will do whatever they have to make a buck. And we are just eating it up. Literally eating it up. And my point is that if we return to Yahuwah's ways, I know it's a process. It's gradual. I'm not saying that I only have a garden. I got a little, some stuff that I'm doing, like for instance, I just did this yesterday. I cut up my watermelon for my watermelon water, and I saw on YouTube where you could replant pineapple. I said watermelon, pineapple. So you can see I bought this pineapple. I cut it up, using it to eat it and put it in my water. And it said, cut off the edge of it, put it in some water. For maybe, I think they said maybe a week or so. I'll go back and look at the video. Then you can plant it in the ground, and it'll grow more pineapples. I'm doing the same thing right here with garlic. This is garlic. I saw this on YouTube. It said cut the bottle of a water bottle, get you a whole clove of garlic, stick the roots down in the water, give it a few weeks, it'll start to grow. You can plant it and get you more garlic. Doing the same thing with the leeks I just made yesterday. All right. So, these are seeds. I save seeds. I'm going to do the same thing with this ginger. That's why it's sitting here. This ginger root. I saw this from another guy on YouTube. If we're going to go on YouTube, if we're going to go online, we might as well go and and find things that are going to be beneficial to us. So I found where he said you can grow ginger from ginger root. Plant the ginger root, and it's going to grow you more ginger if you tend to it correctly. He said all these little nubs here that you find on your ginger root, he said this is where new growth will come from. So he showed where he planted. You could just plant one or plant 2 or 3, and you'll get a whole big harvest of ginger root. All right. So anyway, my point is, I don't even have it how I want it because I'm not on my land yet. I still have to get my land cultivated. It takes time. It takes money. And so it's going to take me some time to do that. But I'm doing the little things that I can by trying to buy things that I know I can identify. If I walk into the produce section, I can identify that. It is what it is. It's not what it is and then 30,000 other ingredients under it that I can't pronounce. No, lettuce is lettuce. Spinach is spinach. Potatoes are potatoes. So my point is that, I'm not here to condemn because even I'm not where I want to be. But I'm saying we should be at least striving and trying to get a plan to be able to free ourselves, because oftentimes the watchmen have to talk so much because we're doing so many things that really we just need to be coming out of. And then the watchmen won't have to go in month after month, year after year, same thing all the time to people who should already know by now that we need to be doing better. Once Yahuwah warns us about something and tells us to come out of it, guess what? We don't need any more information on it if we come out of it. Because if we're out of it, then we don't have to worry about what's going on in it because we're out of it. When you come out of gang banging, the risks that are involved with gang banging, you don't got to worry about no more because you're no longer gang banging. When you come out of being a whore, the risks that are involved with being a whore, like multiple STDs, HIV, all types of other stuff, you don't have to worry about those risks that come with being a whore when you're no longer a whore. Do you understand my point? It's not condemnation. It's not coming down. I'm just trying to show us that oftentimes the watchmen are working too hard because we're involved in too much stuff. And some of these things seem innocent and seem like it's no big deal. But what we're doing is we're claiming Yah, and we got Yah in our name, and we're saying Yah in our mouth. But oftentimes we want to refuse the life that he wants us to live. Do you really think that Yahuwah wants us living a life of continually putting processed, unidentified objects into our body? Do you really think that's what he wants? See, that's my point. My point is that when we get to the mindset in the heart that we really want to return to how he wants us to live, in doing that, there will be protection. There will be some things, guess what, that the wicked could do that we would never even have to know about when it comes to us, because we would never be in a position where they can affect us. Guess what? If I never walk into a Starbucks and eat a Starbucks, something that Starbucks makes, I never have to concern myself with what they put in their products. That's just the point I'm making. I'm not trying to condemn you for going to Starbucks. I don't. And I don't believe that when they do stuff like this openly that we should. But I'm not here to bash you about it. If you go into Starbucks, you're not going to see me going in on you. I'm just making a point with the Starbucks because it's so clear. My point is that if I'm not in their establishment partaking of their products, then I don't got to worry about what's in their products. I don't need the Watchman coming to me every 2 months telling me something new that Starbucks is doing that's wicked. Because I'm not involved with Starbucks. I pray that the point is coming across clearly. All right, let's get back to the video. Let's get back to the data, to the information. All right, so we just saw that with natural flavors, okay? We saw that with natural flavors. And I try to bring home the point that oftentimes all of these little deceptions, let's go right here, these deceptions, because we all know that yogurt is promoted as being healthy, right? I always heard that yogurt was healthy. And I'm gonna have to ask some Hebrews. Akudi Zakaya and Akyashai, Akudi Sydney. Any of you other mashpaka that are on that you know some things about health and you know some things about what's good and what's not, can y'all tell me if yogurt is indeed good for you? I know the vegans will say no because I think a lot of yogurt comes from cow's milk, but there are alternative yogurts also that are not made from cow's milk. They have yogurts that are made from coconut milk and other milk. All right. So, but as far as yogurt is concerned, is it actually healthy? I always heard it was, but I'm not really sure. I haven't really studied it. All right. But my point is, even with things they call healthy, sometimes they're adding deceptions because we don't know what this natural flavor is. Guess what? Natural flavor, according to the FDA and according to how the food administration, the food industry can use it, natural flavor could be something that comes from meat. So guess what? You can see something that says natural flavor and they could be using swine in it. So we can go look at, you know how, let me say this, let me turn this around. You know how sometimes we're looking at labels trying to make sure there's no pork and no swine in it? Well, you could be looking at something and you don't see anything that says swine on the ingredients, but if it says natural flavor, guess what? Because the FDA does not require them to list it, because they don't require them to list everything that's making up that natural flavor, it could be swine. Because according to the FDA, anything that's considered natural flavor is something that is plant-based or animal-based. So it could come from pig. It could come from beetle butt. Like a lot of these natural, some of the natural fruit flavors, they say come from the butts of different animals. And even if it's not the butt, just certain different animals that are even unclean. So we can have unclean animals. We can have unclean animals that are in these natural flavors, but we'll never know it unless we call the company and ask them. My point is that if we're coming out of using a lot of these processed things with all these 30,000 ingredients, and we're getting back to the simply eating the things Yahuwah tells us to eat, we'll know what's in the food. And then we don't have to worry about all this. That's my point. All right, so let me go to one more slide. And I want to show you this, and then I'll be wrapping this up. We like to send you notifications. No. Thanks for asking, though. All right, so next one is this right here. 11 disgusting ingredients that aren't advertised in food. All right, 11 disgusting ingredients you eat every day that food companies don't talk about. Guess what the first one that came up with was? Yep. The Starbucks using the Beatles to color their Frappuccino. First one that came up. All right. All right, now watch this. Food companies might advertise natural flavors, low calories, and vitamins A through Z, but they're much less likely to promote their use of fish bladders, sand, or human hair. And you won't believe what beaver anal glands, that's correct, are used for. All right, watch this. Ak Yashai, tada for that answer. Because I also want to, I think I'm going to start looking at some of the yogurts that are coconut milk based. I think they have some almond milk based yogurts also. But I've heard that they're good, like you said, good for probiotics. But you have to be careful with some of the other ingredients. Tada for that, Aki. All right, so here's that picture I was looking for at first. This is what they use to color this. And as you can see, it makes sense from their standpoint because look at that. That's almost the exact same color as this frap. All right, watch this. Between yogurt, maraschino cherries, jams, cakes, tomato products, you probably consumed at least 1 pound of red dye in your life. That means you have also ingested at least 70,000 cautional beetles. So here, that's why I was trying to say up front, I'm not just picking on Starbucks. They just use this as a good first example. But look at this. The red dye in a lot of things that are eaten comes from these ground up beetles. Yogurts, and that doesn't mean all of them, but the point is, if it just says natural ingredient, you don't know unless you call them and ask them. Maraschino cherries, jams, cakes, tomato products. So that innocent can of tomato paste that you're getting from the store to make some spaghetti marinara, it might even have this red dye in it. All right. So the point is, okay, let me just go through some of these examples first. All right, here's ice cream. Beaver anal glands. Vanilla and raspberry flavors might be enhanced by castoreum. All right, I like how they're wording this too. It says might be enhanced. Doesn't mean that all of them are doing that. Doesn't mean every ice cream maker does it. So we have to be careful with how we say things. All right, a mixture of the anal secretions, but we do know, I do want to interrupt and say, but we do know that even that some of them have, and even right here, watch this. Vanilla and raspberry flavors might be enhanced by castoreum, a mixture of the anal secretions and urine of beavers. It's also found in perfume. All right. The FDA approved product is categorized under natural flavoring. So we do know that even from the FDA, that some people are using it because it's even FDA approved and and they're using it. And they don't just use it in things like this. They use it in other things. I'm going to show you. Red lipstick uses this dye from the Beatles. So Akuti, sisters, this is the point that I'm making. I don't have anything against makeup. I don't. But even oftentimes, if we're putting on this makeup, we might be putting on something that's from an unclean animal. So, you know, honestly, I love natural, but I don't bash women that wear makeup. But me personally, love natural. I always tell Babe, you know what I'm saying? All the blemishes or whatever you feel like they're imperfections, they're beautiful to me. You know, I've always preferred you natural. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to wear some makeup, I don't got no problem with it. As long as you're not overdoing it and it becomes wickedness to you. I don't want you overdoing it. You know, if you want to use something to maybe just give some little accents or enhance or whatever, that's cool. But I don't want you changing your whole appearance with makeup. You're perfect the way that you are, natural. All right. So it's not a come down on makeup. It's just I'm saying some of these things, they even put all this crazy stuff in even the makeup. All right. So the FDA approved product is categorized under natural flavoring. So you won't know if you're eating it. This is what we just talked about. Hey, Ak, you said that the Beetle is clean. Okay, so I need you to look. Yeah, I need you to look at that with me because I looked at the Beetle, and I saw that it was the name Beetle was in the scripture, but that it was a mistranslation. But I could be wrong. All right, so I could be wrong about that Beetle. But from the description that Yahuwah gave in the insects, the beetle doesn't look like it matches the description, because it doesn't have the legs that are supposed to be over the feet like the grasshopper and the locust. So it doesn't seem to match the description of what's clean. But I could be wrong. So I'll let you, me and you, I'll talk with you about that later, and we can go in and look at that deeper. But I thought that the beetle in the scripture was a mistranslation, and that it was actually according to the description of what Yahuwah describes, that the beetle would be unclean. Yeah, Barak Yahuwah. Because if it is clean, then that wouldn't be an issue. All right. So if it's clean, then it wouldn't be an issue. And then any of the other things that are clean, they wouldn't be an issue. But really the bigger point that I want to make in this video is how that, because they're not required to list things and tell us what's going on, to tell us what they're doing, they can put anything in these products. Yeah, that's what I was getting at, Robbie. Legs, joints above the head. But I might be missing something. So me and Yeshai will look at that a little bit deeper later. Because from what I saw, from what I did see, I honestly don't think that the beetle is clean. But I could be wrong. So I'm always open to be corrected if it's wrong. All right, so, but my point is that we could, even if you just take the beetle and you eliminate that, the point is that we don't know the stuff that they're using in these products, because they have the green light from the FDA to pretty much put anything that they want in there, as long as it falls into the category of being plant or animal based. But we all know that all animals are not clean. So let's say that they're using a roach and grounding up a roach and putting it in something. That's really the bigger point. But I still appreciate Ak for sharing that, because I want to go and look at that deeper. And if it is clean, if the beetle is clean, then I'll come back and I'll do another video just saying that, hey, the example I used with Starbucks is not a good example, because that was clean. That was the beetle is clean. I'll just do one just to be fair, because I believe that I don't care how much knowledge we have, I don't care how filled with the rule we say we are, if we can't correct wrongs and be fair and be just, then that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. Our knowledge don't mean nothing if we can't humble ourselves and make sure that we clear up things that we may have misspoken on. All right. So Barak Yahuwah. All right. So let's move on. Let's see. We saw that one there. Next one, we saw the ice cream with the beaver anal glands. Remember, beaver is an animal. So you can take the butt of any animal, use something from that butt, not just the beaver. All right. It could be any animal, and they can take any part of the animal and use any part of that animal and put it in your food, because animal is natural. That's the big point I'm trying to make, how they can be so, they don't have to disclose everything, because the FDA gives them the green light to pretty much be deceptive. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, so watch this. Let's go down and let's look at this. Fish bladders, which we know that all fish are not clean. All right. Wendy's chili says that Wendy's chili uses sand. All right, watch this. One key ingredient to Wendy's chili is an anti-caking agent called silicon dioxide. Now, I've seen this ingredient in many different products. All right. Street name, sand or glass powder. Okay. All right. Jello, animal connective tissue. Gum, use sheep secretions. So sheep, what do you call it? Sheep feces. A goopy oil secretion found in sheep's wool is an FDA-approved additive. No, I'm sorry. It's not feces. It's hair. That's what they meant up top when they said some things use human hair and other hair. It's called lanolin, it looks like. A goopy oil secretion found in sheep's wool. So we're eating hair here. All right. It's also found in other products, not just stuff you eat. All right. Cheese uses sawdust, they say. Cellulose. I've seen that word. I've seen that in many ingredients. a virgin wood pulp that is more commonly identified as sawdust. It's an ingredient found in shredded cheese. All right. Bread, duck feathers, and human hair in bread. All right. I've seen this many times. L-cysteine is an amino acid often used in dough conditioners, which softens mass-produced breads. It is made from human hair or duck feathers. 80% of it is from human hair. Okay? Mushrooms, maggots. Let's read this one. The FDA says it's legally okay to have up to 19 maggots and 74 mites in canned mushrooms. Okay? So those are mushrooms from the can, which I never eat those. And I still got to look at mushrooms, whether they're clean or unclean. I've had people say both things, and I'm willing to look at it. But these are specifically talking about canned mushrooms here, maggots. Potato chips, cleaning agents. All right, the list goes on and on. Chocolate, rat hairs. That's why if you're going to get chocolate, I suggest getting it organic because chocolate is actually healthy. The actual coca is healthy. All right, so there's nothing wrong with chocolate in itself, but this is that processed stuff I'm talking about. Rat hairs. Let's read it. We aren't saying that rat hairs are the secret ingredient of your favorite chocolate bars, but they might make accidental guest appearances. The FDA allows one rat hair per 100 grams and 6 100-gram subsamples of chocolate and 60 insect fragments per 100 grams in 6 100-gram subsamples. Okay? So the point is that the whole point that I was trying to make with this is showing how a lot of these things are involved in processed foods. Let me turn my camera around as I get prepared to close it. No, I'm not closing this out. I'm sorry. I still got to go into Nike. So whoever can stick with me, stick with me. I'm going to try to make it, I hope, prayerfully, I made it where it's interesting and not boring. But my point is that, as you can see here with this, the natural stuff, just because we see the term natural, we've even had companies that advertise organic being found out to be that they were not using organic. So my whole point is that a lot of these things, there's a door wide open for people to deceive people. All right. So we just have to do the best we can. But part of the point I want to make with this is that these 11 disgusting ingredients you eat every day that companies don't talk about, a lot of these things that we're talking about here, a lot of these things are found in what we call processed foods. All right. So if we're moving away, trying to move away from processed things, moving back to the earth or to the arats, which is Yeshua, I believe that's right. The arats, that's the Abrit word for earth. If we're moving back to the ground, let's just put it simply like that, the ground, and eating from the ground, then see all this information that's out here like this. This is good information. But guess what? We wouldn't need to hear any of this, and we wouldn't need any of these warnings if we were eating from the way that Yahuwah designed us to eat. I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make, that I pray is hitting the hardest with everyone that watches this video. It's not condemnation. It's just showing that when Yahuwah gives us a way, his way is protection automatically. So we can live our life in righteousness, flourishing and abundant, and we don't have to spend all of our time worried about wickedness. Because oftentimes the watchmen have to go in so hard because we are spending so much time in the ways of the world. So they have to work overtime to try to bring us out. Oh, I just pray this makes sense. Abba Yahuwah, just speak. Speak through your root. So the more that we come out, the more that we give ourselves to Yahuwah, the more we give ourselves to following his way, to following his path, the less of this stuff we have to worry about. If no one ever came up to me, and I'm going to use Starbucks again for the example. Let's assume that the beetle is unclean for now. If it's not unclean, I'll come back and I'll correct that. I will come back publicly and correct it. Okay? I will. All right. So, but let's just go with right now with this. Let's take that it's unclean. I've made this point before. I just want to show you how easy it is. Because of what Yahuwah showed me concerning their logo and their symbolism and how they put that in the face, that type of idolatry, that type of Greek mythology and mysticism, that's all based on idolatry. Because they put that in the face of the public, I decided not to shop with them and not to do business with them. Because of that simple decision, based on me following the rule of Yahuwah to not support a company that outright blatantly throws this type of wickedness in Yahuwah's face and in the face of the people. Because of that, now I'm protected from anything they do with their products because I don't eat them. That's how simple it is. I don't need anyone to come to me and break down. Man, you know what Starbucks is doing now? Then next month, man, you know what Starbucks is doing now? They're doing this and this and this. Look at this right here. Oh man, we got people. One guy got shot because of some of the stuff he exposed. Blah 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 blah. All this other, I'm like, no, that's good. But really, you need to be giving this information to somebody that's still eating it, because I'm not. I don't go there no more. My whole point is I'm not tripping. I'm not saying that it's not important that we expose, but I'm saying that for the called out people, we should be needing less and less of this information as our life goes on. We should be needing less and less of the exposing of darkness as our life goes on. We should be coming out of these things where this stuff don't affect us. I hope that this makes sense. Barak Yahuwah. Oh, Barak Yahuwah, Tada for looking at that so quickly. Akishai says that the beetle is unclean. It was a mistranslation. All right, Barak Yahuwah, thanks for clearing that up. I appreciate you. I love you, man. I'm glad that we can, I just love having Akeem where we can, even if we're at odds with at first, maybe we don't agree or maybe we see it differently, we can be, we can in a brotherly way just handle it. Everything don't have to blow up into a fight. Everything don't have to be no argument. Everything don't have to get out of control. We just handle stuff. You know what I'm saying? If we could be humble toward each other and be respectful toward each other, then we could always come to understanding. When we understand that Yahuwah is right and that we are always wrong, but Yahuwah is always right. So that means we're not leaning on what we think. We're leaning on Yahuwah. Then we could just be humble. We could be respectful. We could always just, as brothers and as Akeem, brothers and sisters, we can just talk about things, work it out, and it don't have to be nothing else besides that. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. I mean, I was good, but to die for coming back and showing me that. I appreciate it. All right, so let's move on. I want to go to Nike, and then we're gonna be done. Nike, and then we'll be done. All right, let's turn this camera back around and let's get back to the screen. Okay. Let's see here. I got all these things popping up. I need to get rid of some of these. I'm getting lost now in all these. All right, so here we go. This one is Nike. All right. The true story of Carolyn Davidson. She is the one actually that came up with the logo, I believe. Yeah, she came up with the Nike logo. All right. Listen to this. I'm just going to read this real brief. Few logos are more recognizable than the Nike swoosh. All right, here's Jordan. Okay. Other than the golden arches, that's McDonald's, and Coke's sexy cursive, no other logo is burned so deeply into our collective memory without even trying. Nike's logo conjures up images. Well, you see these? You see the wording? You see this? Nike's logo conjures up images of speed, agility, flying through the air like Michael Jordan in Space Jam. Okay? Now, this is very important to understand. This is something else that Akishai exposed years ago. Nike. And ever since he exposed that, and then I went and saw for myself where Nike, there wasn't no conspiracy theory, nothing like that. Nike admitted to it. When I saw that, I stopped buying Nike. So I no longer buy Nike. I don't buy my kids Nike. All right, if you see my kids with some Nike on, they're either someone else bought it for them, or they bought it. But I've encouraged them not to. All right, but at the same time, my boys don't live with me. My oldest son is grown. My daughter is grown. My youngest son is he's just 13, but he lives with his mother, so I can't help what his mother buys him. But I try to tell them. I even told him and told them that I don't care, what anybody else does. I'm trying to teach you what's right. And I expect you and want you to follow what I tell you. Now, in every situation, I can't make them, but I do teach them. All right. So if you see my kids with Nike on, it's not because Daddy bought it for them. I don't buy Nike for me. I don't buy Nike for nobody else. All right. And you'll see why right here. All right. Akishai exposed this several years ago, where this comes from. And Nike, you can go to their website and get it from the horse's mouth. All right, now let's go to this. 1971, the swoosh is born. The logo sitting atop a $16 billion corporation had much humbler beginnings. Despite its current iconic status, the swoosh was initially bought for a measly flat rate of $35. That's how much they paid this lady to make that logo. All right. Even 45 years ago, $35 for a company's main logo was a bargain. Today, that equals to $208, which any graphic designer in North America can tell you is basically a friend rate. All right. Now watch this. Carolyn Davidson designed the Nike swoosh in 1971. I don't want to really go into all this. I'm not really too much concerned about her, but I just want to get you guys to the meat of that logo and the Nike itself, even the name of the company. All right. So let's go down here. Look at this right here. You see this image right here? This is the goddess Nike. All right. Watch this. When you see what it means, you're going to understand why Nike uses it, what they're promoting, and why I don't do business with Nike. All right. Nike, the goddess of victory and Air Jordans. Watch this. So how was the design conceived? Nike was named after the Greek goddess of victory, who sported an impressive pair of gossamer wings that was known to parade around battlefields, celebrating and buoying winning soldiers. Davidson wanted to portray the spirit of Nike in a simple yet elegant design that would also fit on the side of a shoe. She was the goddess of victory. This is the whole... let me read some more before I talk. Let me just read some more before I talk. Where's my... There it is. Let's go down. What better way to combine the image of the goddess and the very thing she represented by then turning a check mark, which is the universal symbol for victory on any term paper, into a minimalist outline of a wing in flight. All right, let's keep going down some. All right. I want to read. Let me go to the next. Okay, anyway, I won't go to that. This right here was enough. I just wanted to show you. All right, let me talk about this. So, okay, so if we look at Nike, we can see that they chose something that represents what they're trying to brand. So what they have an athletic shoe. Nike is an athletic shoe for the most part. They might make some casual shoes, but you know Nike is an athletic shoe. All right. So Nike is the goddess of victory. Flight, it said that she paraded around, buoying the winners in battles. All right, so that's where the flight comes from, and she is a goddess. All right, so Nike wanted to embody this, and this is what they named their company. They named their company based on this. Their logo was designed based on this. That's why I don't support Nike, because they put this out front, just like Starbucks. They put it out front in your face with proudness. They're proud of it. It's idolatry. So that's why I choose not to support them. All right. Now, my whole point is that, look, when I see this, when I found that out and I saw that, and I decided not to no longer participate with Nike. Now, no matter what Nike does, I'm not worried about it because I don't participate with Nike. I'm not affiliated in any way with Nike. I don't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's a whole different dynamic than with the food, because with the food, you're actually intaking things. But actually, with this stuff, you are too. Because I don't believe that we understand how much spiritualism they put inside products. I'm not talking about just Nike. I'm talking about period. They are trying to attach souls to their products. They're trying to gain. It's not just about drawing your attention with an advertisement. It's about trying to get inside of you. There's a lot of demonic practices and forces that are behind a lot of the things that we see. You know, think about some of the movies and the video games and the cartoons and the things that are out. These things are soul targeters. They're designed to target souls. They're designed to become part of you. So even though it's not food, these type things are important about what they're presenting to us. And then they're admitting it openly. You can go to Nike and you can see this. It's in pride that they do this. They don't think there's anything wrong. Or if they do believe there's something wrong, they present it as it's not, and it's innocent. All right. But because of this type blatant idolatry, that's why I stay away from Nike. All right. My point is that when Yahuwah shows us things and he gives us an instruction to follow him wherever that leads, if that leads following him out of something, then we're supposed to follow him. We're supposed to come out. If he's calling us from in something to come out of something, we're supposed to come out. When we come out of it, guess what? Now what's in it no longer affects us because we're out of it. I wanted to share that about Nike. I know a lot of believers wear Nike. I know a lot of covenant keepers. I've seen covenant keepers with Nike on. I'm not here to bash you for that. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't know. You know, I'm not telling anybody to go and just burn up all this stuff. I know Akeem that did. I didn't burn mine, but I did get rid of it. I went through and I got everything Nike in my house, including the shoes that my kids own. And I threw it out. This was years ago. When I saw that, and I saw there as a business, as a corporation, they're promoting that idolatry. When I saw that, I said, no, I'm not doing business with y'all no more. I got everything Nike in my house. My favorite suit at the time was Nike. It was a athletic jumpsuit. It was a light gray jumpsuit. It was my favorite outfit. It was comfortable. It was light. It was nicely tailored and nicely made. Very, very nice. My brother gave it to me. Favorite suit. It was Nike. I got rid of it. I got rid of all my kids' shoes. I got testimony from Akeem. My Akishai can testify, and others too, that when they burned their Nike stuff, they saw demons in it. They saw a demon in the fire. I think he took a video of it because Yahuwah told him to burn it, and that's what he did. All right. So anyway, my point is that when we come out of things, we don't have to. Let me read what my Ak Jimmy says. Shabbat. Barak Yahuwah. I didn't see what Shaka said where you said good thought. Let me see if I can find it. Shaka says, so I wonder if that's why so many young ones have lost their lives over Jordans. Wow. Victory over our youth. Wow. Ak. Wow. Ak. Barak Yahuwah. Khan. And said they make Converse as well. Barak Yahuwah. Aki Yashai. All right. So anyway, I'm getting ready to bring this video to a close. I did not come on here to bash. I did not come on here to condemn. I just came on here because I felt like it was I felt like this was something that Yahuwah really wanted us to understand and to see. All right, is that how when we come out of Babylon and we follow Yahuwah and we begin patterning our lives after him and what he showed us and what he desires for us. When we do that, it's automatic protection. Hold on just a second. Hold on. I'll be right back. Man, come in, Ak. Man, someone knocked at my door. It's my Ak. It's my Ak and his son. What's up? Come in, man. You know what? I was about to put in the group that I was thinking about rolling down there to see you. Hallelujah. And you come up here. Hallelujah. I know you don't like the camera, man, but shoot, come on, get in the camera just for a minute, man. This is my Ak Nabi and his son. Come here, man. All right, so I just got a knock on the door, y'all, and my Ak Nabi is here. And Shabbat Shalom. And this is his son. He just came by to see me. So Barak Yahuwah, I'm almost done with this video, all right? Y'all come on in here and finish up this video with me. Yahuwah might give you something to say. All right, so yeah, that's my Ak Nabi. He just came in to see me, him and his son. I would say Barak Yahuwah for that. I was actually thinking about driving up there to spend some time with him, and here he is. All right, so let me go ahead and wrap up this video. You guys just have a seat anywhere, and I'm gonna be done in just a second. Let me wrap up this video. I just want to show you guys how when we come out of Babylon, and we begin to do things that Yahuwah tells us to do, and we begin to take heed to his warnings, it automatically protects us from the things that the wicked are doing in these warnings. So the wicked are so busy. The wicked are too busy for us to keep up with every little thing they do. All right. And sometimes I'll be honest with you, I hurt for the watchmen because oftentimes we really make the watchmen work too hard. We make them work too hard. We make them work too hard. Yahuwah has me right now in kind of a time of silence where I'm not going in on a lot of stuff. Y'all even know, those that follow me on a regular basis know that I'm not even on Facebook that much. Usually during the week, I don't get on at all. I come in, I post a meal. Usually when I come on now, I'm posting something about food or health or prayer, you know, stuff like that. But I'm not even going in on a lot of stuff right now because Yahuwah just kind of has me silent. But he has other watchmen that are going in. All right. We need to take heed to the watchmen. We need to take heed. And then we need to take heed to the point where we don't continually have to strain them by having to repeat themselves all the time. We need to be obeying Yahuwah. We need to be taking heed to the warnings coming out of this wicked world, and then these things won't affect us. It's one thing for the world, but it's another thing when the covenant people have to be continually corrected on things that we've been talking about for years because we just refuse to come out. We just refuse to take heed to Yahuwah. And then we wonder why the things of the world come upon us because we're participating in their stuff. All right, y'all know I'm big on health and big on food right now, but this is not why I came on here. I didn't come on here to condemn people or nothing like that. I didn't come here to condemn where you shop, to condemn what you eat. I didn't come here for that. I came here to make a bigger point. But it's really strongly connected to these things because I understand why Yahuwah told me to stop eating meat. I'm not here to tell nobody else to stop eating meat. I'm just saying I understand why he told me. I understand why he has me now where I'm mostly eating produce, where I can't remember the last time I walked into a fast food restaurant to get something to eat. I can't, I mean, and he's showing me how powerful Yahuwah is and how much of a healer and a transformer of people that he is. Because I could not go a morning without going to Bojangles for a biscuit or going to Jack's for a biscuit. I couldn't go a single morning without doing that. That was my breakfast every day. Hitting up Bojangles or Jack's or someplace to get some processed biscuit with some processed piece of mystery meat on it. That was my regular bait. That was my regular routine, even as a covenant keeper. But he stopped me from that. I can't remember the last time I've been into a fast food restaurant. I can't even remember. There's a reason that he leads us to these things. There's a reason why he does this, because he loves us. It's protection. So guess what? No matter what the fast food industry is doing, I don't got to worry about that because I'm not walking up in there buying their crap. That's the whole point. The point is that when we follow Yahuwah and we get on his path and start taking heed to his warning and doing what he says, then what the wicked are doing, it's like, okay, that's good information. But I'm not tripping. I could have gone the rest of my life and never known that information and still be just fine. You know why? Because I stay out of their establishments. My point is that oftentimes the knowledge that we're getting so excited about, the reason why we have to keep getting it is because of the things that we're involved in. If we weren't involved in these things, a lot of this information wouldn't matter to us so much. I'm going to give you one more example and then I'm going to leave you guys alone. Hollywood. Music. We have a lot of covenant keepers that are still starstruck. We have a lot of covenant keepers that are caught up in this worldliness, in these worldly artists, in their worldly music and the things that they're saying. And we got people taking relationship advice from heathens before they'll listen to a covenant keeper. And these are covenant keepers. You're going to take relationship advice from heathens because they have a platform? Oftentimes, it's because they're saying what we want to hear. A lot of times, I'll just be real. I'm going to throw it out there. We got a lot of egotistical males who like to hear what other egotistical males like to say. So whether they're a covenant keeper or not, if they have that same rule, they're going to support them. We got a lot of feminist females that like to say what feminist females say. So no matter what, whether they're a covenant keeper or not, if they got that feminist rule, that's who they want to listen to, and that's who they'll promote. Oftentimes, we're not basing our loyalties to people on righteousness, but on what we like. See, this is my point. When we come out of all these things that we're giving too much attention to. We're spending too much time watching TV. We're spending too much time worried about what the world is doing. We're spending too much time in their activities. We're spending too much time supporting them. When we come out of that, the watchman won't have to speak on it all the time, because we're not spending our entangled in it. So guess what? What Hollywood does, and the wickedness and their pedophiles and all this sex trafficking, not just Hollywood, these politicians, it's all up in politics. I was going to send it to my Akashai. I was going to post it, but I decided I think I'm going to send it to my Akashai. The reason I'm going to send it to him, because that's where Yahuwah has him. He has him exposing these things for the people. I pray that we start taking heed. I'm going to send it to you, Akashai. It's a list of all the politicians on the Republican and Democratic side that have been caught up in some pedophilia and some perverse foolishness, that oftentimes we're not hearing about this stuff by these same people that are involved in wickedness. A laundry list of politician after politician, caught with little girls, caught with prostitutes, caught with trannies, caught with all this perversion. We put so much trust in all this foolishness, and oftentimes that are operating inside of this foolishness is killing us. But guess what? We wouldn't need these warnings, and we wouldn't need all this information if we just come out. Once you come out, you don't need to hear every 2-3 minutes about what the wicked are doing, because you're out of it. When Yahuwah is giving these things to the watchmen, it's to protect us. So if you take heed, then you can take heed to it, obey, and then move on about your joyful life of shalom. You don't have to be boggled down with it. But if you continue to stay in it, always looking for an excuse to make for staying in it, that's why you have to be continually told, they're doing this wicked thing, they're doing that wicked thing, they're doing this wicked thing, they're doing that wicked thing. Look at what we found here, look at what we found here, look at what we found here. It's endless. You don't even have time to pray, because you got to spend too much time worried about wickedness. You don't even got time to pray. You don't even got time to pray for your brother. Your brother had a car wreck, been in the hospital 3 weeks. You don't even know it. You don't even got time, because you're so busy with this world. Oftentimes, that's because we spend too much time worried and wrapped up into this world, and we don't even have time for the things that are important. Time to the things that are going to grow us. At some point, we have to get out of idolatry. At some point, we have to get out of perversion. At some point, we have to get out of pollution. We should not have to spend our whole life getting out of it. At some point, we should come out and then move on into the deeper things of Yahuwah. But we're still in elementary school, having to be told by the watchmen to stop being idolatrous, to stop fooling around with the wicked and the things that they love so much, to stop being deceived by their crime and lawlessness and deception. We're continually having to be told these things, oftentimes because we will not come out. So we're hurting ourselves. Again, I did not come on here to bash or to condemn or to be condescending. I just came because I truly believe that was something that Yahuwah gave me to share, to bring us some freedom and deliverance, and to allow us to move on into the abundant life that Yahuwah wants for us. Barak Yahuwah. Let me pray. Ak, will you pray?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Nabi's going to pray. Hold on a second.
Abba Yahuwah, in Master Yahusha's name, we come to you in Palal. Ogadol Mala, Toda Rabba Abba Yahuwah, forgiving your only begotten Yahid for the remission of crimes. Toda Rabba Abba Yahuwah, for your Bina, your understanding, your Zadik, your righteousness, Abba Yahuwah, this Shamayun. Toda Rabba Abba Yahuwah, for our brother Sha'al and all of those Abba Yahuwah that are gathered in your name, Abba Yahuwah, in your son's name. We ask Abba Yahuwah that we hear and take heed to what you have laid on our brother to bring forth unto us, Abba Yahuwah. We thank you for your mercy. to continue in telling us things. We thank you, Abba Yahuwah, for your love and your kindness. We ask Abba Yahuwah for an increase in righteousness, an increase in doing what you say, and an increase in love for one another, Abba Yahuwah. Thank you once more for allowing us to gather on this day. Could you please Baruch our brother? Could you show him great favor, Abba Yahuwah? Could you increase him and protect him, Abba Yahuwah, in everything that he do, in all places that he go to, Abba Yahuwah? We ask you to look down on our brother and show him great kindness, Abba Yahuwah, for bringing forth your word, Abba Yahuwah. In Master Yahushua's name, we belong and pray. Amen.
Amen. Barak Lord. Tada, Aki. I love you, man.
Love you too, brother.
I'm so excited that Nabi is here and his son. So now I'm gonna shut down the video, and we're just gonna fellowship with my brother. And I want to tell you guys that I love you deeply, and I mean that. And Tada Abba for Nabi. Tada for that prayer. I want to say Tada to everyone that joined the video. I want to say Tada to everyone that chimed in. I want to say Tada to Ma'ak Yeshai and Ma'ak Yaakov who chimed in, and to Ak Shaka and to Akudi Zakaya. And to everyone else, if I missed you, I'm going to go back later and I'm going to read the comments. But if I missed you, but I want to say Tada for coming by, for stopping by, for chiming in. Ak Rabi, I remember you spoke and said something. So I just want to say Tada because I appreciate it, and it means a lot for you to come in and to fellowship together, and let's go and talk about these things and get at this stuff together, with Yahuwah being the center of everything. So I don't take it lightly. It means a lot. Tada for stopping by. Everyone that stopped by and did not say anything, I love you too. I appreciate you for coming in, for hitting the like or love button, whatever you did, for just showing up on the video, even if you didn't hit the button. Tada for just coming in to join. I want to say I just appreciate it. I do. All right. So I don't take it lightly. You could have been doing something else, but you decided to stop by and spend time with your aunt and just, be open to hear as I share what Abba gave me. And I appreciate that. All right. I want you guys to have a restful Shabbat. I want you to have a wonderful Shabbat. I'm praying for you. I just pray. I'm just praying because that's all I know to do right now is just pray. All right. If you're going through issues, sickness, financial issues, problems in your families, whatever it may be, I just want to just speak Yahuwah's mercy and Yahuwah's favor and Yahuwah's hand on your situation. And I just pray that Abba come in and just intervene and fix whatever needs to be fixed. And I pray that your faith don't fail, and that your hope and your trust in him doesn't fail, and that you always stay with him and press. All right. And that Abba's going to bring us all into that place where he's going to show us manifestations. He's going to bring things to pass. We got testimonies of victories already, you know what I'm saying? So just hang in there and don't quit. Just enjoy the process. All right. I love you. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Enjoy your week. I'll see you whenever Yahuwah gives me something. All right. Much love. Tada. Shabbat shalom.